everyone! Darkside Phil here, and welcome to the Weekend Preview. Happy New Year! Yes, welcome to the first Weekend Preview of 2016. Tonight is January 3rd, 2016 in particular. And let's talk. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. There's a lot that's in the works that's going to be coming up shortly. There's a lot of stuff that's in process right now. So I want to give everyone a cumulative update on everything that's going on so that everyone is in the know, alright? So, right now, I am kind of in the midst of my year-end series, as you know. I have completed one of them. I'm in the middle of and probably will conclude with the next day or two another series. And then I got 3 more to go. One of them's pretty short. But then the funniest moments that you're voting on right now, as well as the Game of the Year awards, are going to be the longer length series, okay? So I'm in the midst of those. While I'm doing that, I am currently now juggling ongoing playthroughs, and I'm basically trying to finish up a lot of stuff that I've been working on now for a little while. And while I'm finishing that up, I also want to keep people interested. I don't want people who maybe aren't interested in these ongoing playthroughs to be bored and tune out and come back, you know, in 3 weeks or something. I want them to obviously be entertained, so I've been working on some other stuff as well, and there's actually some new stuff coming up this particular week. Of note, this past week, I did a Conker's Bad Fur Day HD marathon. 7 hours of gameplay. It was actually more than I had intended on going. The stream itself was over 8 hours long. And quite honestly, the game is outdated. Obviously, the game's from 2001, but I really like it. I like that it's adult-oriented, it's funny, it's got really just shocking stuff in it. A lot of gore and stuff and sexual content. It's a pretty good game. So I'm enjoying that. The videos are live on DSP Gaming for those who were not available on New Year's Day to check out that stream. And the question has been passed my way multiple times, will I be continuing on with that game? So I'll address that up front right here in this Weekend Preview. Not immediately, meaning not in the near future. I've got a lot of other stuff on my plate and a lot of other stuff I'm trying to finish up before I want to jump into, oh, let's do Conker, okay? I would consider doing it as a future marathon, a future event. This isn't the kind of game, though, that I would just sit down and do as a normal playthrough, because ultimately, not a lot of people are super interested in an old school game. It's that simple. This is a game for a niche audience, right? There is a certain group of people who want to see me play it, and it just so happened that it won out in a poll for a marathon for a Patreon, and that's why I did it. So, the answer to your question is, not immediately, not this month, but in the future, there's a possibility that I will go back either in another marathon or something else, a special event, and I will do the rest of Conker, okay? It's definitely not dead in the water. I like the game, and I want to play it again. So what am I busy with right now? What am I doing? Well, I'm juggling a lot of stuff. As you know, after I finished up fan appreciation stuff last week, I jumped right back into Yakuza 5. So I am continuing on with that playthrough, and boy, has that playthrough changed. For those who don't know, the third character in the game is Haruka, the girl. She's a 16-year-old girl who was at the orphanage with Kazuma, and she is a character who's been in the Yakuza series pretty much all the games. And now she's becoming a teen pop idol, and you have to play as her, learning how to dance and sing and do mini games and press events. It's freaking weird. It has nothing to do with the other gameplay of the Yakuza games, so it's a breath of fresh air. I just don't know how long the segment is, but I'm continuing on with Yakuza 5, doing that, alright? This week, I want to finish up Rise of the Tomb Raider, because I got about 1 session left to finish the entire game, alright? And this week, I'm going to take the time out to finally return to Assassin's Creed Syndicate and do the post-game content that I've wanted to do for 2 months now. I just didn't have the opportunity to because I was so busy with all the other new releases, alright? So this week is going to have a lot of continuing stuff and finishing stuff. But in addition to all of that, I also want to start something new. And the 2 options that I'm laying out there for a game that I'm going to start this Tuesday, okay? Number 1... it's kind of the sleeper hit of 2015, the game that no one knew what the hell it was until all of a sudden it became virally popular on the internet, and now everyone wants to see me play it. Undertale, that's number 1, the first option, okay? The other option is a game that people have now been asking me to play for over 2.5 years, a game that is the final game in a series outside of which I've played every other major installment. That's right, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, the only Grand Theft Auto game left that I haven't played, and I've been looking for an opportunity of a time when I should do it, and quite honestly, now it's been a year since I touched anything Grand Theft Auto. There's a lot of downtime in January, and this would be a great time to do it. FYI, just so everyone knows, there's no real new releases in January. You've got Resident Evil 0, the remake from Capcom, that's coming out on January 19th, and then, I believe a week later, or the week later, Lego Avengers comes out. Now, I'm not going to do Lego Avengers as like a mainstream playthrough. If I do it, it may be a co-op playthrough I do with Leanna. Apparently, the game goes through all of the Avengers movies, and I mean, they're individual movies, like Captain America and Thor and stuff like that, and the Avengers movies. So I'm interested in doing it, but it's not something I want to dedicate a ton of time to as a mainstream playthrough. I'd rather do it as maybe like once a week I do co-op with Leanna or something like that, just like we tackled Lego Jurassic World way back when in the summer of 2015, and people really liked that playthrough. So my main focus this month is to finish up the stuff I'm working on and to do 2 new playthroughs. Obviously, I'm going to do Resident Evil 0 when it's out, but it's going to be Undertale, and it's going to be Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. I just haven't decided which one I want to start this week. The thing is, I want to start both of them. I'm definitely not doing both of them this week. Let me explain why. There's too much else going on. With one day, it's going to be Assassin's Creed Syndicate. One day is going to be Rise of the Tomb Raider. At least one day, if not more, is going to be Yakuza. There's no way I can start 2 new games this week. It's not going to happen. I'm going to start one this week and play it 1 or 2 sessions, and then next week, once I finish up with those other things like Rise of the Tomb Raider and Assassin's Creed, I'll have more time to focus on it, so I'll be juggling 2-3 games. All right. So, what is it going to be? You can give me feedback. I want to make this abundantly clear. I'm not going to make my decision based off of a poll, but I am going to make a poll because I'm interested in what people are thinking. Would you rather see me play Grand Theft Auto, this tried and true series that I've played over the years, people always enjoy the playthroughs, or would you rather see me take a shot at a game like Undertale, which I've heard is a very unique style turn-based RPG with lots of twists and things? I don't know. I haven't played it. I really haven't spoiled myself on it. I don't know too much about it, but I'm interested in both. Okay, so I'm going to put a poll up tonight on Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP. Please vote in this poll. Understand, I may make a decision that doesn't jive with the results of the poll, but I'm curious to hear everyone's feedback on the subject. All right? So this Tuesday, I will be starting one of those new things. So let's go day by day through the week. Then I'm going to talk about some long-term things, including a schedule update that I need to make so you know what games I'll be playing over the next few months, as well as a patron update and a lot of other stuff, okay? An update on the new channel, too. I want to give you that. But let's talk about the schedule this week first. Tonight, as soon as I'm done with this week in preview, I'm going to spend a couple hours working on the year-end series. I hope to pump out maybe 1 or 2 more episodes of my favorite playthroughs of the year. I released 2 episodes of this earlier in the week, and then I got busy with other stuff. I'm coming back to it tonight, and hopefully I can finish it up either tonight or tomorrow. Probably more than likely tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow, Assassin's Creed Syndicate returns to stream. I'll be doing the endgame content, meaning the stuff after you beat the game, which is the Queen Elizabeth missions, as well as possibly the last, I think there's 1 or 2 mystery investigation missions I never did. And then there's also a World War Easter egg that I want to do, okay? So there's like 3 major things that'll be my focus of that stream, and that'll be a good send-off for Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Tuesday, the new game. Whatever the new game is that I decide, I'll be playing on Tuesday as my gameplay stream, all right? Wednesday, I'm going to be jumping back into Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I think I'm going to try to complete it at this point. I think what I'd like to do is try to finish it off and say, all right, Rise of the Tomb Raider is now done. You know, good. Stick a fork in it. I finished it off, and then I don't have to worry about going back to it, okay? Thursday, Friday will probably be a mix between Yakuza 5 and whatever the new game is that I started Tuesday. So that's kind of the rough gameplay schedule for the week. And yes, Saturday, Sunday also will probably be Yakuza 5 and whatever the new game is that I'm playing for the week. I'll juggle those over the weekend as well. So it'll at least be 2 to 3 streams of each of those games until we hit next week. All right. Now, I didn't mention the second half of the day every single day because the bottom line is the second half of the day, as you know, this year is different. My schedule is now very different. I'm not focusing on gameplay all the time. Second half of every day will be the year-end series. So what I'm hoping is Monday night, hopefully I can finish my favorite playthroughs of 2015 and maybe start working on the next series, which will start on Tuesday. That's going to be the best and worst things that happened to DSP Gaming as a business this year. This is going to be a short series, maybe 1 or 2 videos. It probably won't be too long. It's just going to be me discussing the positives and the negatives that happened to my business this year. Because a lot of people don't realize, or they don't get caught up too much in that. They just watch the videos. You may want to know, gee, what happened? And the bottom line is there were lots of great positive improvements, and there were a lot of setbacks and detriments this year, and I want to talk about them all publicly in like a countdown, okay? And then immediately following when that one ends, so whether that's Wednesday night or whatever, the fan-voted funniest moments of 2015 will begin. So this is literally your last shot to vote on what you think were the funniest moments. If you haven't yet, head to thekingofhate.com. There's 3 threads there on the forums. Vote, 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 because probably midweek, I'm closing off those polls. Those polls are going to be hidden, so the results are not revealed. And I'm going to, okay, here they are. Here's the top 10 as voted. Now, keep in mind, I always do honorable mentions. I always usually have like an extra moment in the countdown as well. So that's what I'm going to do this year. so that there's some extra stuff there for everyone, and you could get we're going to be around 20 funny moments based off of the 3 polls that we had set up. So should be pretty good. Should be a pretty good countdown this year. And then immediately following the end of that series, which probably is honestly going to take me to the weekend, will be my Game of the Year award. So over the next 2 weeks, you can see the conclusion of all of my year-end series. And then once those year-end series conclude, immediately I'm going to start with my changes. What are my changes? Well, I'm going to do more vlogging on the King of Hate vlogs, where I'm going to be talking more about stuff daily. It won't just be about gaming. It may be an observation about something in the news, or it may be an observation about something in my life. It may be a vlog just me walking around the house doing something daily, because you can join me. Maybe more hamster vlogs, which I stopped doing. All right, it's not going to be every day, but I am going to be doing more vlogging because I really felt like I dropped the ball in 2015 with the vlogging, and people like it, and I didn't do enough of it. All right, now in conjunction with that, I'm going to be doing more edited videos for this new channel, which I'm hoping to launch around mid-month, maybe mid to late January. I'd like to launch this new channel that's going to be focused solely on edited stuff. So you're going to see game reviews, you're going to see countdowns, right? All that stuff. I've mentioned this a million times before, so I don't want to really go too far into it right now until I'm ready to really launch it. But I'm going to start working on stuff for that channel. So I'm going to be, maybe not necessarily having videos out immediately for you, but I'm going to have a batch of videos that I can put live on that channel for when the channel does go live, so people can see them and be like, oh, so this is what the channel is, okay? So that's kind of the deal. This week, focusing in on finishing stuff up and starting up a new game and continuing Yakuza and year-end series. Next week, whatever the other game is I didn't start this week, doing that plus Yakuza plus the game from this week, maybe finishing up some stuff, and the year-end series. The week after that, which will be the 3rd week of January, is basically going to be Resident Evil 0 plus everything ongoing with gameplay, and I'm going to be starting to work on the new stuff, the increased vlogging and the edited series, and hopefully by, say, the end of the 3rd week of January, maybe I'll be ready to launch the new YouTube channel, hit the ground running, boom, and take off with new videos, all kinds of stuff. A lot of people have been asking me, where are the reviews, Phil? Where are the reviews? You haven't reviewed a game in like 3 months. What's going on? It's very simple. I was too busy. I was too busy with all the new stuff, right? I was doing so much gameplay. There's so many games that I was playing that I didn't have the opportunity to do any game reviews. And now here I am in January. What's the point of working on and editing and rushing out a review of Fallout 4, right? When it could be maybe the first thing to launch the new channel in 2015. It would make sense, wouldn't it? So that's kind of the approach I'm taking here, is that I want to have a balance of content on that channel, and I want to have some stuff built up for it when it launches. That's why you're not seeing me rush out game reviews and stuff like that. And a lot of people, oh, well, the game's already old, who cares about the review? It's not about views. It's just about having content on the channel so people can understand at first what that channel is going to be when it launches, rather than, oh, here's the new channel, there's no video, so you have no idea what it is, and eventually I'll get a countdown out there, but who knows, I don't want to do that. I want to have stuff on there so people are like, oh, okay, let me subscribe now. This is the go-to place where Phil's going to do reviews and stuff from now on, all right? So that's the deal with all of that. Now you know exactly what's going to happen this week. There's a few things I want to hit now, bullet points in my head. Number 1, the schedule. You have no idea right now what games I'm planning on playing over the next few months because I really never sat down and did an updated schedule. You're absolutely right. I need to buy a new calendar. My calendar over here on my wall in my office is for 2015. It's outdated. It's done. So this coming weekend, on Saturday when I usually do my errands, Leanne and I are going to go hit up Staples. We're going to buy a new wall calendar. I'm going to roll it out, put it up, and probably when I put it up, I'm going to fill it out, and as I fill it out, maybe I'll film a video. And so in the next week, not this week, but maybe next week, you'll see the new schedule update video that'll come out and explain all of the stuff that I'm planning to play in the early months of 2016, because let me tell you, February, March, and April are all very heavy months with games this year, like super loaded stuff people have been waiting for, games that got delayed, tons of stuff coming out, and I definitely want to let you know how I'm going to be approaching all of that. All right, so that's coming in about a little bit over a week's time. That's number 1. Number 2, I have good and bad news regarding Patreon. If you don't give a shit about Patreon, feel free to skip this segment, but there are people who want to know, because the goal that was set for the month of December, if we hit the funding level, was that we're going to do a Rockathon 2.0. The Rock Band Marathon that I did back in November was so successful, people wanted to see it again right away. So the goal is we hit this, funding level was going to be Rockathon 2.0. Unfortunately, well, let me do the positive first. We had more people pledging to my Patreon account in December than ever before. By far, the most people pledged in a month ever. I think at this point, I think it was over 200 I don't even know. It was over 200. I know that, but I don't know how many. But tons of people. And thank you so much if you did. That support is so needed, especially right now. I'm literally just starting to feel the effects of the pay cut that I took with Machinima, and it's going to start hurting me, and that is going to help me. All right? But the bad news is we had 28 people, the most ever, declined with their pledges. So it sucks because it's like, wow, more people pledged than ever before, but then 28 people got declined for whatever reason. And unfortunately, we did not hit the goal. It was hundreds of dollars of funding pledges that didn't get processed. Now, I've already been in contact with 3 people who claim that they fixed it and they think that Patreon should just recharge it this week. If those go through, we've hit the goal. So if those 2 people, if their pledges go through, we've hit the goal, and we're going to do the Rockathon, all right? I'll let you know. But the bottom line is I messaged all 28 people on Patreon. And by the way, most of those people were previous pledgees. It wasn't like, oh, here's a joking giant pledge and it's not me, I'm a troll, I'm not going to do it. No, these were people who had ongoing pledges and for whatever reason they got declined this month, all right? So I sent mass messages on Patreon. Please, if you pledged in December, check your inbox. You may be one of the people. If you can fix that info, we could do the Rockathon. I want to tell everyone Rockathon, but I got to stick to my guns. I have to basically stick to it, because if I don't hit the funding level, and then I just do the Rockathon anyway, then what's the incentive, right? People won't have incentive to pledge anymore. Well, I pledged to see the Rockathon. He didn't hit it, he did it anyway, so why would I ever pledge again? He's just going to do all the events. So I'm not going to do that. I have to stick to my guns. It's supposed to be a motivational tool to get people to pledge and a way for me to thank you for hitting a funding level. So we've got to hit it. So let's see what happens over the next few days. I'll keep everyone in the loop. You should stay tuned to my pre-streams where I usually talk about that stuff. And, of course, my Twitter, I also update everyone. Oops. Over here is where I update everyone on that, okay? Now, in regards to this month's Patreon, I am mulling it over in my head, and I think I know what I'm going to do for the goal level this month, but I'm not going to reveal it yet. I'm going to wait about a week or two, and then I'll update my Patreon page with all the info, and we'll go from there. I think people are really going to like it. It's something that I've been asked for a while, so I think people are going to like it, okay? Outside of that, quite honestly, there's not a heck of a lot else going on besides me getting through all the stuff I'm in right now and me planning for the launch of my new channel. Let me tell you, I am excited. I'm very excited for the launch of this new channel. This week in particular, I'm supposed to be talking with Machinima. They said they're coming back from their break tomorrow about getting this channel partnered as a managed partner, getting that set up ahead of time. And I'm going to actually try at least to try to figure out some kind of artwork or something I could do for the channel, even though I can't use any art if that's not mine, because if I do, then I'll get false copyright strikes, and I'm terrible. I'm not good at graphic design or Photoshop, so I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. And the bottom line is I can't really tell anyone either. Like, I can't ask for help, because if I do, I've revealed the name of the channel, and now who knows if it gets out, then it's going to kind of spoil everything, and I don't want to do that. So it's tough, but I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to see what we can do, and I'm going to see if we can get some stuff going so that this channel is ready to go once this the bottom line is there's a waiting period. I don't know how many people know this now. Google changed the way that YouTube worked. When you make a new channel, it used to be you make a new channel and immediately you could just pick whatever channel name you want and you're done. Okay? Then they changed it. They made it so that you can make a new channel, but you also have to have a Google Plus account that links with this new channel, and the name of your Google Plus account is the name of your channel. They did away with that now. Now it's you can make a new channel and YouTube randomly assigns you the most ridiculously complex address possible so no one can possibly find your fucking channel. But if your channel exists for 30 days, is in good standing, if you get, I believe it's 100 subscribers, and you have like a channel art, like a logo and an artwork for the top of your page, you immediately can pick your own name. Now, it might not be exact, especially if someone else already has the name you want, but you can try to get whatever name you want. And I'm hoping I can get a pretty good, decent name for this YouTube channel so that it's at least close to the idea that I have for it, so it's easy to access. It would really suck if, like, you know, oh, here's my new channel, and you could find it at and this is just an example, Phil Gaming 524Z6. Wow, fuck that. No one's ever going to find that channel. You know what I mean? So hopefully I get like a name that I'm looking for, and it should be good. But that's what I'm working on right now. Behind the scenes, I'm kind of doing this stuff. I've got a channel that's already in process to be live for 30 days, and I'm waiting. I got to work out with Machinima this week to get it partnered and do all that. And once all that's in place, then I'm going to start working on the content for it, and then we'll be able to hit the ground running later this month. So for all those people wondering what's going on with the new channel, that's the bottom line. I'll have more info in about a week or two about that, and hopefully it'll be good news. And I'm excited for the launch of this new channel. I think that people are really going to like it. There's going to be people who literally used to be a huge fan of mine, but can't keep up with the playthroughs anymore, right? And now this is going to be their way. Wow, once a week I could watch Phil do like a best of a worst of the week recap video. That's pretty cool. Wow, I don't have time to watch Phil's entire playthrough of this game, but he did a montage of his fails in the game. Let's watch that. Oh, here's a game review. Great. That's the kind of stuff that a lot of people want to watch now because they don't have time to watch insane amounts of gameplay videos anymore. And I understand that, but I'm still going to make those gameplay videos, right? In fact, it's a necessary thing. If I don't play the gameplay, I don't have gameplay to edit to make the other videos. So it all works hand in hand. It's going to be good. I think it's really going to work hand in hand. It's going to come out nicely, all right? All right. Last but not least, I'll end the video with this. By the way, I just want to remind everyone, since it is early in the month, and since we have 28 people who were declined on Patreon, I can't do the patrons thank you roll, because it's not done yet. It's just in process right now. It could dramatically change in a week's time. We could have 28 more people that I need to add to it. So for this week, there's no patrons roll. There will be one next week, okay? But one thing I just want to say, and I hope that you understand what I'm saying. I can't really say it too much, or too candidly, because then it might reveal something. But anyway, if you notice something going on, or you notice a change, or you notice something, all right, and I'm not talking about it, and you're still wondering about it, the bottom line is I'm probably not talking about it for a reason. I do everything I do for a reason, if you believe it or not. Like, there may be something where, oh, this seems like this isn't correct. Now, I'm not talking about a typo in the name of a video or something like that. I'm talking about, oh, something with Phil's business seems to has changed. I wonder, why this is happening. It's probably for a reason. It's probably for a good reason, and more than likely it's helping. And if I were to suddenly make a big announcement about it, it would just unfortunately backfire. There's some stuff that I do from time to time behind the scenes for the business, for the videos, for everything, that hopefully benefit them in the long run, okay? But I don't publicly talk about all of it, because then unfortunately if people get wind of a change, oh, let's spoil it, right? So please, if you notice changes, things like that, and I'm not talking about it's a typo or anything like that, but if you notice, wow, there used to be something that used to be one way, now it's different, I wonder why, give me the benefit of the doubt and understand it's for the best, all right? Especially with this new year, hit the ground running positively with the new stuff and everyone being engaged and excited for the new stuff. That's what I need. I don't need people who are distracted by silliness, and, that's why you're going to see some changes happen, all right? But take my word for it. Please give me the benefit of the doubt. You'll see what I mean, hopefully in a couple weeks. But anyway, I'm excited for this month. I'm excited for whatever new game I start this week, to finish up stuff this week that I've been doing for a long time, to do this year-end series, which I love doing. I'm just very pumped, and I hope that you're excited too for all the new stuff that's going to be coming out shortly, okay? That is it for the weekend preview. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like I said, no patrons roll tonight, but thank you to those who did pledge. Hopefully we get stuff cleared up. Hopefully next week on the weekend preview I could say, Rockathon, baby. We're doing the Rockathon. I want nothing more than that, seriously. Like, I want to do it again, so I'm excited. Hopefully I'll have good news for you next week, all right? Peace out, everyone. Enjoy all the new videos I put out this week, and I'll see you next weekend for more info. Peace out and good night.